Lagos is not just Nigeria's commercial city. It is the powerhouse of Africa's biggest economy with its massive population and emerging Lekki Free Trade Zone, Dangote Petrochemical Refinery, and other strategic industries. Lagos is set to compete as one of the most attractive investment destinations of choice on the continent of Africa. I'm Adedoja Salama Adeniyi, and you're watching Inside Lagos.
Ẹni tí ò dé kò yìn ẹkùn kan.
Àwa ni center of excellence.
Ẹni ò dé kò yìn ẹkùn kan.
Àwa ni center of excellence.
Mo ní pé bó o bá dé kò yìn ẹkùn kan.
Àwa ni center of excellence.
Àwọn òyìnbó débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe.
Àwa ni center of excellence.
Haúsá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe.
Àwa ni center of excellence.
Àwọn Ìgbò débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe.
Àwa ni center of excellence.
Gbogbo Yorùbá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tí wọ́n mú lọ.
Àwa ni center of excellence.
Ẹni ò dé kò yìn ẹkùn kan. Èkó ò ní bàjẹ́ lórí àwa.
Àwa ni center of excellence.
Ọ̀pọ̀ ò bá dé kò yìn ẹkùn kan.
The Dangote fertilizer plant would commence production this week, while the refinery will be completed by the end of this year and production commences early 2022. These are words of the chairman of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, during Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's two-day working visit to the Dangote Petrochemical Refinery, the Lekki Free Trade Zone, Lagos Free Zone, and the Deep Sea Port. We were there.
It's about cementing the future of Lagos that lies on the Lekki axis. Governor Sanwo-Olu and his team's first port of call was the Lagos Free Zone. Part of its master plan is already a reality, but more support is needed.
The level of work done, we're just within the first quarter of 2021, and you can see that the work is about 50%. It's actually about 47 going to 50%, and I think that is rather very commendable. You probably will not see a level of infrastructure development of this size anywhere in the world that will be delivered, before the set it. And they've given us a commitment. When we met in 2019, and they said that we will commission this thing by first quarter 2023, we thought it was a joke. When we said to our citizens, we will work and ensure that that happens. You have seen it, you've heard it, and they are working to time, and they are committed to ensure that we even beat the 12 before the set date. So I want to thank you again for those commitments, for the level of partnership we have seen going forward. I think for me, it's really, before we go into a closed session, it's really to thank and to commend the amount of opportunity that this will present for our citizens, for the host community, and for our country at large. We don't want to throw numbers around, but the kind of investment that is happening in this corridor can indeed triple and quadruple the GDP of Lagos within the next 10 to 20 years. And that's the kind of thing that needs to excite all of us. Like Dabiri said, the kind of numbers that we're hoping that this will galvanize to, it can only, be a commitment that we must continue to strive to let it happen. But the interesting part of it is that our youth, our young men and women are the ones that we're building this for. And you can see in this room, from the lady from the Lagos Freeport doing presentation, it wasn't all foreigners. Our citizens, our male and female engineers and support staff are already in the conversation. And for me, that is the strongest point here. The strongest takeaway here is a technology that is global but has a lot of local component and content into it. And that's what we need to take away, to see that everything that we're about is about creating jobs for our citizens, it's about creating opportunity for our people, and it's about transforming and changing the landscape of the host community. Infrastructure development in this area by no means will happen. It has started happening. We can only take it, but for us is to come here and encourage all of you that you are not alone. We are not leaving all of this to you alone. Whatever support that is required of government, whatever input that we need to bring on board, whatever conversations that we need to have, for you to be able to do your job well, that's why we're here. And that's the whole idea around governance. So we'll do it, we'll make it happen, and we're not in a hurry. If you say to us that we should wait till Sunday, so be it. We just need to pay a bit more, we'll do it. Because we want to be sure that everybody all around there are on the same page, and we're about ensuring that we solve the issues, we resolve the issues, and we create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, and to do well.
Few milestones in terms of the structure, of the project itself. It's being built by the Chinese. You see some of them here. The Chinese are being supervised by the Dutchman, who himself is being supervised by the Americans, Louis Badia. So you have, eventually when the port is constructed, it's going to be managed by the French, which is CNO. And quietly we were doing our own work until we got our 1.5 years ago, when Thomas Reuters and Amos Reuters, awarded Lateef Port as the best infrastructural project in Africa in the year 1990. Mr. Governor, remember before that, dedicated the flag to you and people of Lagos who are giving us that opportunity. On the local side, all the amendments that took place in the last 13 years, they have to receive the Federal Executive Council approval. So as I speak, we have President Muhammad Buhari approval. So have the federal government approval and we receive the approval.
First quarter 2023 or the last quarter 2020. And so it's on target. In fact, it's ahead of schedule. And so we're very excited, about that. You've seen also all additional new companies that are in the Lagos Free Zone. On the Lekki Free Zone, we're also with us. You've seen the level of massive infrastructure that are in the zone. Investment of over $1.5 billion have gone into that zone in terms of the road network, the road layout, the 10-story buildings, the 8-story buildings that have gone there. They've got about 44 companies in the zone already, and we've been to 2-3 of them with all of you. And more importantly, we also went to an oil service company there, and we'll see all of the major developments that are also coming up, from that angle.
The Saturday's inspection witnessed the third of Lekki Free Trade Zone, Dangote Refinery, fertilizer and trestle. 5 hours spent around these facilities is not enough to capture half of the investments. Alhaji Aliko Dangote says he is ready to kick off.
You will actually see fertilizer within the next 1 week by the grace of God, and the refinery will finish by end of this year, and products will start coming out first quarter next year.
Alhaji Dangote also said there is deliberate policy for the development of the host communities.
I've actually developed a lot of local skills. As we speak right now, we have about 36,000 workers here at site, and over 20,000 plus are all Nigerians, some from the community and co. And then we are doing a lot of this fishing, because it's a fishing community also, which we are buying boats and other things to give to the community, building schools, giving scholarships. So we are really going to do quite a lot, because even for us, this is our largest investment when you compare the entire group worldwide. So there is no way we will actually joke with the community. The only benefit is for us to have a win-win situation where we'll give them jobs. We'll make sure that yes, it is worth their while to actually receive us here, and they have received us very well. So there is no point for us to turn our face the other side. We will definitely keep supporting them. We will work with the government and actually even do more than their own expectations. So this is what we have. But then also to do with the road which Mr. Governor mentioned. Yes, we are really, really very, very eager. And as soon as we have even green light that yes, we can go ahead and build the road under this tax deductible this which is Presidential Order number 7. We will start the roads before we even have anything in writing. And I promise His Excellency, Mr. Governor, that look, we will even start within the next 2 months. So I'm sure the community will be very happy. We will also be very happy, and all the stakeholders will be very happy.
For Governor Sanwo-Olu, create an enabling environment where business can thrive, security and multimodal transportation in the zone is the state government's priority.
Jobs are being created, and these are jobs for our youth, for our local economy, and for Nigerians in general. And in all of the places you've seen that, Nigerians are being employed. Lagosians are being employed. The local indigenes are being employed. So for us, that also speaks to the reasons why we want to also come in and see things for ourselves. And finally, is to clear out a few issues, that we all will have. Issues around approval, issues around right of way, issues around the roads that we need to do to improve, the quality. We don't want another Papa Gridlock here. So we have agreed amongst ourselves, and by the time we're coming back, don't worry, I'll bring you back again. You'll see the amount of roads infrastructure that will have come here. You see the ones that we're doing on the Elekoto, and so infrastructure is critical to take out all of the pressure from the port, from the refinery, from the fertilizer, and all of them, right? So we've agreed, and we'll plan out timelines for ourselves. So Lagos is very exciting time for us as the government, and for the people, and for the whole world at large. Issues around petroleum, fuel shortages will be a thing of the past. Issues around Apapa Gridlock that I've told you about, that Lekki Port will be one of the solutions, will be a thing of the past. And future developments around Lagos are the kind of things that we've come here to see. And we're happy, we're excited. We're actually coming to bring additional arms of government to come and station here in environment, in fiscal planning, in waterfront, in commerce. We want them to come in and stay here so that they can respond to their needs quicker and faster. And one final one is we're also bringing tourism all around here, because we want people to live, to work, and to play around here.
Before ending the tour, the governor also visited and encouraged other companies within the zone. Mr. Governor also met with Lekki community leaders and assured them of road construction and security of lives and property, among others.
Lagos State government is set to immortalize the late Lateef Jakande by creating a leadership fellowship academy. The academy is to produce new leaders across the state. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu made this known at a day of tributes in honor of the first civilian governor who died on February the 11th.
Political and religious leaders, traditional rulers and people in key positions joined the Lateef Jakande's family to celebrate the impactful leadership of the first civilian governor, which many of them have benefited from. Many projects have been named after Lateef Jakande before his death, but Governor Sanwo-Olu says the state will further immortalize him with youth empowerment program.
The blue line rail project, the red line will be available for our citizens, which will be part of our own modest deliverable and to the memory of Alhaji Lateef Jakande. We're going to set up an endowment that is going to be called the Lateef Jakande Leadership Fellowship Academy. This is what we believe that the transformational leadership that Alhaji Jakande stood for, that indeed we can create leaders of tomorrow.
From the establishments of free education to affordable housing estates, road infrastructure, healthcare, among others, speakers here extolled the virtues of the late governor, describing him as a real gem and architect of modern Lagos.
A fearless journalist, a journalist that people can truly rely on. He understood the power of education as the most potent weapon that can break the vicious cycle of poverty. He deployed it into a unique manner. I was a beneficiary of all of those decisions.
A great politician, an accomplished administrator, and a devoted father and a devoted husband. Indeed, LKJ was a detribalized Nigerian. He demonstrated forthrightness, a rare commodity in the political marketplace of his days.
I believe that Jakande cannot die because he lives in the hearts of the people.
His death has given us a great challenge. I've met with my siblings and we have decided that we would keep the good name going.
This event was indeed an honor for the man who touched many faces of Lagos State. Fondly called LKJ, only governed between 1979 and 1983, but its marks and records are still visible almost 40 years after. His 4 years and 3 months in office set up the Lagos State University, construction of more than 30,000 affordable housing units, more than 11,000 classrooms with students' writing materials and free food, among others. No doubt that the name of the former governor, Lateef Jakande, who died in his sleep on 11th of February 2021 at 91, would continue to be synonymous with selflessness in leadership and service.
And that's a package on this edition of Inside Lagos. Don't forget that COVID-19 is still out there. Yeah, the fact is that it's winding down, but it is still out there. So let's continue to mask up Lagos. I'm Ade Roger, Salam Adeni. Many thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.